On this episode, we head up into Wyoming's Bighorn Mountains to a remote cow camp that makes you feel like you just stepped back 100 years into the Old West. After loading up our trailer at the Lazy T headquarters, we started our climb up to 9,000 feet elevation where the ranch's cattle spend their summer on green grass and out of the heat. At cow camp, I got to see how this operation does things the old-fashioned way, with minimal machinery, just horses, wagons, ropes, and long days. Two cowboys that embody this way of life are Eddie Hitchcock, Lazy T's cow boss, and Mike Rogers, a veteran cowpoke, both with an incredible amount of industry knowledge.
I don't know where you needed adjusted at, but...
Riding out with Mike was seriously impressive. While my horse and I were battling through the tall sagebrush and bogs, Mike was hauling ass full speed through the terrain like it was second nature. I definitely underestimated the rough Wyoming terrain, but we got right to work and I got some first-hand experience doctoring the issues cattle develop at high altitude.
So you see how his ears were dropped on the right side? True case of pneumonia.
Really?
Yep. And that's the main thing. So the main thing we're looking for up here is pneumonia because of the altitude and what it's the cooler nights and the warm days. That's what creates the temperature difference is what creates all that. And then the altitude and the air thinnens out. And then your blood's like, what the heck?
Wyoming is not a joke. Wyoming is not a joke.
And like I was telling him, like what we're also looking for is that brisket.
Yeah.
So, you know, brisket is just a high altitude disease and it's based off of a PAP score off of a bull and a cow. And that pulmonary artery pressure, if it's too high, then they're more susceptible to not be able to move enough oxygen. It's just like you right now. You got too high of a PAP score to be able to run it in Wyoming.
You're describing me to a T right now.
Like if you were a bull in Wyoming, we'd call you.
Straight to the butcher. Straight to the butcher. When people think about cowboys, the word conservationist is usually not the first one that comes to mind. What most don't realize is the level of care that the people in the ranching industry have for the land and the animals they take care of. To an outsider, this might seem like a rough or outdated way of doing things, but I believe it's a commitment to not only tradition, but to putting the least amount of stress on the livestock. When we find an animal that needs medical attention, that's when the ropes come out, because let me tell you, you're not going to talk one of these calves into jumping into the back of a trailer and going down to the vet. In this case, the calf with brisket, or PAP, he will be going back down to lower elevation for some R&R at headquarters.
Okay. I see.
Here in the Bighorn Mountains, the land feels like an unspoiled remnant of a time gone past, and Eddie Hitchcock blends into that environment as naturally as a man can. It was almost a surreal experience getting to work alongside of him using horse and wagon to pack out everything the cattle need.
I put my good stuff on good stuff that's broke. Everything else that's not broke, they get stuff like that. So if they break it, it's easy to fix. So anytime you pack a mule or colt that hasn't been packed right, you stand to show, then go to your load. So that you go put your stuff in there. Yep. And stick it up in there so it can hold, like, see how mine's standing up?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yep. So that way it wedges itself.
Okay.
Now you can see, like, if you come back here. Now if you look at your load, you see it's off filtered?
Yeah.
Then you can do the next one, Mike, if you want. See how it's off?
Uh-huh.
Cool. Square?
Yeah.
Now if we were going like 16 miles, These are called sling ropes. We'd sling it, but since we're only going short distance, we're just gonna do that. Like I tell everybody, I was born 100 years too late.
Yeah. You know, a lot of people say that, and I don't think they mean it truly, but I think you mean it for sure.
Oh yeah.
Because you're out here living it.
Oh yeah. And that's where, like, everybody wants to be a cowboy until cowboying's not fun no more. And that's like everybody like being on the mountain. Like, you don't understand how tough it is until you're in the middle of it.
Right.
And that's one thing about working up in the mountain country is you can always learn something from every situation. Always.
Yeah. Well, and up here, you gotta figure it out.
Oh yeah, you gotta figure it out, and you gotta be ahead of the ball every time.
Yeah.
Because when
nobody's coming to help.
Nobody's gonna come help you.
How often do you pack the mineral out up here? Is it kind of like a daily thing?
I try to do it every other day.
Every other day?
And the reason, like, my average per week is about 1,600 pounds.
1,600 pounds.
Yeah. Between there, I try to shoot for 1,000 every week. Because, one, if you stay ahead of it, your cows, if you have cows that, like you seen there, everything was drawn out.
Yeah.
If you got cows that are not wanting to stay in one area, they're hitting that next mineral pile and they just go.
Okay.
And they completely relax.
I think it's awesome to see somebody still doing it like this.
Yeah, it's a dying art.
Would you want an ATV, or you're not allowed to use one up here?
They could use one, but I don't, because here's the reason why. Like, just like the teams and what we're doing now, it's dying art, man.
Yeah.
And that's what I love about it, because like my kids will eventually get to taste. I mean, they're living it now, but when my boys become in their teenage years, they'll be able to do that.
Okay.
And that's what I love about it, because 60 years from now, this is going to be gone.
Yeah. Unless somebody keeps doing it.
If somebody keeps doing it and enforcing it, that's
right.
That's the biggest thing, is you got to keep enforcing it. I mean, it's easy to go jump in a side-by-side and turn the key on and go drive.
Yeah.
Who made your knife?
A guy named, I think Woods.
Oh yeah.
Down in Alma, New Mexico.
Yeah. No, that's a good knife.
I really get it sharpened. I haven't sharpened it.
I got everything at camp
Do you?
to sharpen it. Yep.
Heck yeah.
So like something, if I can give you any advice when you're by yourself, always have a knife that's sharp enough to, as sharp as a razor.
Right.
Last year I had to cut myself loose 3 times.
Really? What had happened with the pack?
Colts blew up and then pinned me.
Okay.
And then, because that's why, like, we're like the old guys, that's why they wear hip knives.
Yeah.
So you could cut yourself loose, or cut stuff loose, like
Hip knives?
hip knives.
Hip
Yep.
knives? Like
Yep.
where it's
Yep.
right here?
Yep.
Okay.
Hip knives or chest knives. Like a lot of nowadays, guys are getting into those pin knives that are clipped into between your shirt. I usually carry one in lower country, but when it's brushed like this, it's easy to hook it.
Yeah. Well, it's just like, it makes you feel like there's still like some wilderness out here, you know? Like, cause you get into cities and stuff and you start to feel like it's all.
Well, and even like this, to me, like, there's some people that love wrenching, some people love sitting on a computer, some people just love riding.
Yeah.
To me, this is my therapy.
Right.
That's what I love about it.
Yeah. Well, it's funny too, because it seems like sometimes when I'm in town and I'm in a bad mood, it's like I don't feel like I want to mess around with the horses at all or go do anything. And then I get in and I saddle up and go do something, and I'm like, man, why didn't I want to do this? It's amazing. It is a true form of therapy for sure.
And the one thing I enjoy about it, you can't hear any cars.
Oh yeah.
All you hear is cows mooing. Once in a while you hear a plane fly over, but you can hear everything.
Yeah.
That's what I love about it. You sit back and watch the people with the horses they ride and the stock they use and the dogs that they use. It resembles of what kind of a human being and a man they are.
Oh yeah. Your horses are a direct reflection of how you ride.
Yeah. Same with your dogs.
Yeah.
Your dogs are the same reflector.
With the work done for the day, it was time to head back to camp and get some hot coals burning for a serious, old school style cow camp supper. And let me tell you, between the steaks, the setting, the company, and the cobbler, this was one of the best meals I had ever had. We were lucky enough to have ranch president Caden Jenkins bring up some of their best cuts of meat to cook up over an open fire. When that steak finally hits the plate, most people only see the end result. What they don't see is the 2 years it took of raising, riding, doctoring, and daily care it took to get that perfectly marbled piece of beef. From time-honored tradition to the hard work of raising cattle, it all leads to one thing: the perfect cut of steak earned the right way.
This one is like legitimately one of my favorites.
What do we got here?
Flat iron. Right. So it's from the shoulder, front shoulder, but it's become a lot more popular. It's a pain in the ass to get. So
Is it?
butchers have to kind of fight with it a little bit, but it is phenomenal. Like it is crazy tender. We call them like, we'll sometimes call them like minute steaks in a way, because moms and dads can pull this out and have it thawed super fast, and then it cooks really fast.
Okay.
But you ever had it?
No, I have not. So to me, and this is just me not knowing, what is there like? So I know there's a skirt steak, which is also kind of thin cut.
Yep.
Are they similar?
So so skirts, you're gonna get 2 insides and 2 outsides per animal, so 1.5. Flat irons, depending on how you cut them, this one's almost right in half is what it looks like. We'll cut them usually into thirds, and then you can get one on each side of that, so you'll get about 6 to 8.
Okay.
Depending on how you cut them.
So we talked about it the other day, and I'm super excited to try your guys' top sirloin,
Yes,
which we both agree is a totally
it's a sleeper.
underrated steak.
Absolutely. And the reason that I like it so much is, one, it's a better price, right, than a ribeye.
Right.
So if you're trying to, a lot of people on carnivore diet, they'll lean towards the top sirloin because they can get a bigger box for a lot better of a price on it. And I call it a flavorful fillet, because anything that's closer to that chuck roll, which is where your chuck roast, your ribeyes come from, you're gonna get more flavor. Anything that gets further away from that, you lose flavor.
Yeah.
And so top sirloin is really close to your chuck, and it's lean like a fillet. So that's why I call it my kind of like flavorful fillet. You still get tenderness as a top sirloin, but you get way more flavor.
Absolutely. It like the sirloin's a meat melt in your mouth.
Absolutely.
It's just like super juicy.
And it it all goes back to, if you get good quality, you're gonna get a good eating experience.
Right.
Because you can get some top sirloins that you're probably gonna be like, that was a little chewy, that was a little tough.
Right.
But always know where you're getting it from. Look for your USDA grades. Get those higher upper choice, low prime, and you're gonna be happy every single time.
Absolutely. What is it? The
Picanha.
Picanha.
So this one has come alive, especially on social media this year.
Right. I've heard the name, and I don't think I've ever had one.
So once again, when you split that sirloin and you get top sirloins, you get flat irons, and you get picanha from that sirloin.
Yeah.
So the top sirloin is the top end of that, and that's what's cutting into these steaks. The in-between's your flat iron, and then that bottom end where this fat cap is your picanhas.
Okay.
Otherwise known as a culotte, but we like to stick to the Brazilian term because that's how most people like to cook them, is on a rotisserie.
Oh, really?
And the reason that I love them, and people are starting to learn about them, is because of this fat cap.
I see.
So we keep about a 1/4 inch fat cap on them, and what they're meant to do is skewer in a moon shape, just like that. So have you ever been to a Brazilian steakhouse? Yeah. So that's how they bring them out.
Yeah, they're on the skewer, and then they just cut you
and
off.
they cut you off what you want.
Okay.
So majority of the time, you're gonna have a picanha. And once again, it's from the sirloin, so most people will immediately think, oh, well, it's not gonna have any marbling. Like, that is absolutely false.
Yeah.
If you can see it right
Tons
there.
of marbling
Yep.
in there. Yeah.
And then what you get is people will say, well, I should cut this cap off because I'm not eating it. No. Keep it on. Once it skewers or however you cook it, all this is rendering and giving you more and more flavor into the meat.
Right. When you guys were explaining to me the other day about the importance of like how the nutrition of your animal, and then the amount of omegas in the fat, right?
Yep.
So you get better fat because you guys use certain minerals.
That's right. So every type of grass that we have, there's 19 different varieties that we'll run. All of that goes into the quality and marbling in the beef.
Okay.
And so if you're super lean on high desert plain where there's not much nutrients in that grass, you're gonna get lean animals. And that's that 100% grass-fed that some people are into.
Right.
What we are is we're 20 to 22 months on grass, and then we do a finishing ration. You got your rolled oats, rolled corn, and things like that. And the reason we do that is for that right there.
Right.
That's what we want to see.
Absolutely.
That's that butter.
To
That's
me, that makes
flavor.
all the difference in the world right there.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, all cows are grass-fed, technically.
That's exactly, and that's what we tell everyone. Like all the time, people are like, "Is it grass-fed?" Absolutely,
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah.
And it's just is how it's finished is the
Right.
difference.
Exactly.
So some people will go grass all the way through. I don't have anything against it. It's
Right.
just whatever your flavor is, what you like.
Absolutely. Yeah.
It's like wine. If you like this certain type of wine, you know, they are doing it out of Napa Valley. If you like this sort of type, it might be from Italy. It just
Right.
is totally different.
Everybody's got their own way of
That's right.
wanting it. So let's talk about some of these big guys right here.
So we'll go through a couple of these. What we're trying to do is just get a bunch of different varieties for everyone to try. But ribeye obviously is your heavy hitter.
Right.
Everyone knows ribeye. If you can't produce a good ribeye, you're not going to produce anything else because your ribeye is where most of your marbling is being pushed anyway.
Yeah.
And so if you cut that like you did, if you cut that rib down and expose that ribeye and you don't have anything there,
Yeah.
the rest of the animal's probably going to be lean as well.
Right.
This is your key indicator of
I
how that
see.
animal will be. That's why your grade comes from the ribeye section.
Right.
So that's what those
Okay.
graders are looking at.
They're looking at the ribeyes.
Yep, they're going to take
Okay.
ribeye area into consideration, the marbling into
Mm-hmm.
consideration, and that's what they're going to stamp on this USDA grade.
Yeah.
So you've got select, choice, and prime.
Okay.
Yep. So people always ask, okay, what is it that's different about yours? Like what separates you or what makes it better, right?
Yeah.
And I always like to say, look, if you're supporting ranching and you're supporting beef producers, which are cattle, cow-calf operations, I think that's amazing. And so what I say that we do is we pay close attention to perfection. And like
Right.
it sounds super dumb, but like everything we cut is cut by a laser cut machine because we have to have precise cuts on every single one of our pieces, not only so our customer can be satisfied, but as well our restaurants can be excited.
Okay. And you're getting the same steak.
You're getting the same
yeah.
steak every time.
Okay.
Yeah, and your variances, you're talking hand cut, you could be 3, 4, 5 ounces different when you're
Gotcha.
hand cutting.
Right.
This, you're talking point something
Right.
ounces. So you're really, really close.
Man, look at the marbling on that. That
This is the
insane.
one. This is the one, right?
Yeah.
So 2 pieces in your ribeye, right? You've got your ribeye round area right here, and then you have your cap, which is called the spinalis.
Okay.
So the spinalis is what holds a ton of flavor.
Yeah.
So I always tell people that are looking for steaks, if you want a bunch of beef flavor, look for a ribeye that's got a really good
Yeah.
spinalis going all the way around. Because each steak is different. That spinalis shrinks on some of them.
Man, that is just incredible. That looks delicious. I can't wait to eat that right now. All right, so back to the restaurant thing you were telling me about. So this is the same steak that you're going to be getting in your 5-star steakhouses.
That's exactly it. So we kind of get the privilege of being in an amazing place up at Cow Camp, 9,000 feet, you know, and we're going to be eating this same exact steaks that you would be going with your wife or your significant other to a fine dining experience.
Okay.
So you're going to get all of that right here on the fire at 9,000
All
feet.
right, well, let's
How
cut
awesome.
these up.
Yeah, let's do it.
You gotta come take a look at this steak.
Take that bad girl. Yep, perfect. Right there, that's the one.
That's insane.
Okay, look.
Here. All right, that steak is insane. Well, see you guys later.
Get a rope, Mike.
Get a rope.
Time up.
Get a rope.
Hog time.